Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it is our Fun Fold Friday. Today we're making an explosion card. Isn't as scary as it sounds, it just explodes as you open it up with some amazing designer series paper. Go to hold I flip and we'll get started. Okay. Let me just scoot things over a little bit. Welcome, welcome. If this is your first time to my Facebook page or to my YouTube channel, please follow and like so you can see my future Fun Fold Fridays. Today we are featuring the Everyday Bank stamp set, which is one that I have just grown to love and love. This one I saw in the catalog. I knew I had to get it, and when we had our stamp sale last month, I snagged it because it was on my wish list. For this one, we're going to be using the cute little pencil, the thanks, and thank you for everything you do, because I'm making it for teachers. This is going back to school season. I see kids already there. We don't start school until the middle of the last week of August, but I actually work at an elementary school, and so I see how amazing teachers are every day. They are just amazing. And so I knew I needed to make a card dedicated just to them. I also need to make some amazing doctor cards for the doctors in my life and in my life of my family. I need you to comment and visit my online store. That's how I get people to watch, is one lucky person who comments can earn the card we make in our video today. And then order from my online store. So that's my link right there. I'll have it in the comments below as well, so you guys can find my online store with ease, and then use the August Hostess Code. If you see any products you like in the video today, please go ahead and order from me. Choose me as your demonstrator. That keeps me going and being able to share more and more with you guys. All right, let me go ahead and show you the card now. This card was actually inspired by Tammy White. A couple years ago, she did a video using different products. And so this was a fun fold that she had shared. All right, so we have our belly band, which is just adorable. I'm loving that pencil and that I colored it with the Stampin' blends. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then the belly band can just slide right off. So we can take it off on the top or the bottom. I usually go top, so the bottom's a little different. There we go. When we open it up, it's a gatefold, so it opens from both sides. And inside we have this designer series paper that just pops open and has this amazing look. We did some stamping in the inside of our card base as well. And I love that this DSP has the letters. That I thought was perfect for teachers as they're teaching kids how to write their letters. And it has it saying, thank you for everything you do. And then it just folds back up, and then we put the belly band back over. Let's go ahead and slide that over. We'll have it still in view so we can use it as a reference. I have measurements here, but they're also all over on my blog. So that's a cleaner way versus my chicken scratch of writing here. That makes no sense at all. All right, let's get our pieces out. I'm using the Pretty Peacock as my card base. All-time favorite color, like hands down. When it was retired a couple years ago, I was so sad because it literally is one of my favorites. And so when it came back, I was, as you can believe, super, super happy. Let's go ahead and do our stamping first. So let me show you our pieces. Then we have a DSP right here that measures a 4x8. We have it scored at 3 spots. It's hard to see. Let me flip over. Still hard to see. So 2, 4, 6 are those measurements. Those will come in handy in just a second. We do have a belly band that's 11 inch by 1 inch. And then I did a little bit of die cutting with our stylish shapes. I have my basic white here. And then we're also going to need our white for the inside, but you want to turn it like a diamond to stamp on it, because the inside is going to be a square just turned. Then we have our mat for this piece, and then our designer series paper for the front of our card as well. All right, let's go ahead and do our stamping, and then we'll set that aside and do some assembling. My Pretty Peacock ink, of course, because it matches perfectly. Let's get that, and our thanks. Here's our thanks. I'm going to do a quick practice because I haven't stamped with this one for a little while. On my Post-it note, looks good. And the things is going to go to the bottom right of our circle here. Looks great. Set that aside for a minute, and then let's bring in this guy. I put this one on at an angle. You didn't have to. He'll fit on a regular, I want to say this is a D, yeah, a D block. Okay, we're inking this one up. Let me make sure my ink looks good. Looks great. I'm going to go center of my diamond and press down. This one doesn't allow for a whole lot of writing. I would just sign my name on there. All right, those parts are done. Now let's go ahead and grab my pencil in, and we'll show you how to color that with our Stampin' blends. For this one, I went ahead and I pre-stamped it with our Memento black ink. That is a water-based ink. Our Stampin' blends are alcohol-based, and so those need to have a opposite type of ink. Vice versa, when we're doing watercoloring, we have to use a alcohol-based ink to watercolor so that the ink doesn't run. All right, so this one I've already went ahead and stamped. You can see I did a practice coloring because I didn't know exactly what colors to use. So play with your colors. Whatever colors you have, play with it, see what you think will work. Color on the basic white so you know it's true to its color that you're going to be coloring it, and figure out what colors work best. This is the color scheme I like, but you might like something different. We're going to start with some of the smallest parts. So we have on our pencil, let me turn it so you can see it this way a little bit, a little tip. We're just going to color that tip in with a light basic black, just like so. Super easy. The next small part we'll get done with is our little silver band here. Ooh, let me grab a pencil in so you can kind of see. And that might be helpful to you too. So this one has it as gold, but I don't have a gold one, so we went ahead and did silver, well, gray, which is the light smoky slate. And I just go through with my little in here and color that in nicely. Okay. Next we have the pencil where the lead's coming out of. I'm using the SU 800, which is the medium light, what is it called? Stampin' Blends Medium Light Combo Pack. It's kind of like the skin tones. I'm going to go ahead and use my brush side for this and just go over this area. A crumb cake would work as well. I just like how it's kind of like a tan, but kind of like a peach color. Okay, looks pretty good. Next, let's color our center pencil. It kind of is more of an orangey color, but I like the yellow. So what I did was I grabbed my Daffodil Delight. We're going to get the brush tip, and we're going to do, let me turn it this way, a watercolor type brush stroke. So I'm just going to go up and down, kind of like a scribble initially, like that. I want to avoid my tops and my bottoms and just do a light coloring of that yellow. Then I'm going to grab my dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to go over, actually we're going to go over this guy, sorry, my side here, and I'm just going to color along that stamped black line. We'll do that again with this sun. And then on this side, we're going to switch it and go to the outer one. Kind of like that. If you want it a little bit thicker, switch your tip. There we go. My brush tip was starting to look a little bit overloved, so I was nervous about that. Then we're going to go back over again with our light and blend those two together. I do like to keep some white spots though right by the tip here. Let me get closer so you can see. So I don't color all the way to the next one. I have a little bit of white. Kind of like where the paper of the pencil's being like sharpened off. All right, next we're going to color with our light flirty flamingo. And we're going to do kind of similar to what we did for that Daffodil Delight. I'm going to go in the middle and just kind of do a squiggle like that. Then we're going to come over here with this, the dark flirty flamingo, and we're just going to do those edges here. Kind of go around them, just up and down. like so. Grab your Flirty Flamingo again and color the whole thing to make it blend. There we go. So those colors, you'd never know. That kind of gives this awesome two-tone look. Let me come closer so you can see. We'll turn it and make sure it focused. There we go. Kind of see there where it has a light and the dark, so it looks like it has some dimension to it. All right, grab your paper snips and let's fussy cut this out. This is a pretty easy fussy cut. Just straight lines. You want to get as close as to that black edge as possible. Using the inside of your paper snips and turning the paper as you go to cut off that extra. All right, and I did forget to stamp one thing. Let me go ahead and get our last thing to stamp before I forget. But there's our cute little pencil. Just love it. We need to stamp the inside of our card base with the pencil as our background. Here's our cute pencil. Let's grab our pretty peacock again. And this is just random. This is a bonus step. You don't have to do this one. But I thought I just tied it all in together. So come in here. We're not going to see a lot of the center, so you can avoid that area. And I like to do sometimes just tips. I don't want to get my grid sheet messy though, so we're going to grab our Post-it note again. So we have this angle of that tip there. Let's put an eraser on the bottom here. Again, just having those fun angles. And then I'll put 2 more pencils on this side. Let's have that guy a little bit on, not completely. And this guy will have him looking like he's coming off. There we go. That should be pretty good. If you want to add a couple more tips, you could. I could do one more. Cute little tip of a pencil here. Okay, set that ink aside. And let's go ahead and work on our explosion part of this card with our designer series paper. So what I did first was I went ahead and I did a practice. So I grabbed a piece of printer paper and I followed the steps so I could have a visual of what needed to be done. We want this to be our side up, and so we're going to fold it facing us for this one. Go ahead and grab your bone folder and just get those first creases ready. So I'm going to fold that in and fold that in, just so they're ready to go. Then we're going to take this corner here, and you see that center score, so that's my top left corner, and I'm going to fold it into a triangle to meet where that score line is. I'm trying to make it even on the bottom. And she used a ruler to help her and a stylus tool to help her score it. Tammy White did. But I'm just using my old-fashioned folding methods, like origami or when you're a kid and you used to do a lot of paper folding. While we're here, we'll go ahead and do the other side. Just fold it down as much as you can. Use your bone folder to help crease it. Okay. Open it back up, and let's do the other side. So bottom corner to that score line. Line it up so it's straight on the top. And that edge is matching that score line. What I love about this paper on these hearts here is that some of them are randomly colored in. So let me get closer. You can kind of see it. You see like soft little pink color there? That's super fun. And if you want to, you can even color them in even more. Ooh, this is giving me like paper airplane vibes right now. The creasing and folding of this. Okay. We should have it all ready now. So what we need to do is take the center line, so that was the 2-inch score line, and we're going to pinch these ones together and fold it down. I'm going to grab my bone folder, help me with my creases here. Help it lay straight a little bit nicer. go. Turn it, do it to the same side, so you start to pinch in where that 6-inch score was, so they come together, and then it forms a triangle on top. Just like that. Okay, now that we're here, let's go ahead and put our inside pieces as well. So let's grab our thank you and our petal pink, add a little bit of liquid glue to the outside, very lightly, and attach this to our petal pink. And you can choose whatever accent color you wanted. I wanted something kind of soft that kind of matched that pencil. Okay, go ahead and liquid glue on here. Bring in our DSP, which is the Delightfully Eccentric. I can never say it right. Again, over my blog, you'll see the name of this. Love this paper. There's so many different designs in this paper. It just makes it amazing. All right. Let's grab this guy in. Let's go ahead and use our bone folder to crease this. So we're closing up our gate. Let's go ahead and add our DSP to the front here. Flip yours over. Make sure when you put your hearts on, they're the right way. No upside down hearts here. We'll put that panel DSP on. There we go. One side, second side. I'm using liquid glue and closing this one up so I can kind of match where I lined up that one first. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay, now we're going to grab this guy, close them back up, flip them over so that it's the full triangle, not the opening up triangle. Grab some tear tape or your Stampin' Still Plus, and let's put a couple strips on here. We want some heavy duty adhesive since this is going to be played with a lot. What you want to do is kind of get an idea. We want this in the center. We want to be able to close it on here. We're not attaching it yet to the panel, but just using this as our guide to make sure that we have the right spacing here, and then we can place it down in the center. Okay, making sure it's not too far over. That looks pretty good. Now grab that same Stampin' Still Plus, put a little bit on here, and it's up to you if you want this to go all the way extended and be straight on our side here, or if you want it to be not extended as far. So this one I'm not going to have it extend as far. I'm just going to have it go about here, and I'll press down. Make sure it can still close, and if not, we'll do a redo. So I feel like that feels a little bit stretch. So I'm going to carefully peel it off, and I'm going to set this on like that. There we go. Let's see, that's feeling a little bit better there, a little bit more movement. Okay, close up this guy, place him down, and there we go. We have explosion happening, so this looks like it has some cool popping up. We still see our hearts a little bit there as well, which is fun, and our letters are now there. Now we just need to create our belly band. So for that, we're going to stick them underneath. We want to hide where our belly band meets in the middle. So that's why we want that on the back side. Go ahead and fold it just so it meets, crosses over. Kind of crease it. No need for bone folder here. We're just going to do a light crease. And for my other one, I actually had a meet on the other side. So I'm going to flip this one over. So I want to situate it just a little differently. There we go. You'll see why here in a second. Okay, now put a little bit of that Stampin' Still on here, and we're going to have our belly band catch our top band. So I'm going to have it hover about 1/8 of an inch up, and then I'm going to let go of that bottom one because we don't want this to be a super tight belt that we can never get off. Do the slide test, make sure it can slide upside down. Do it so make sure it's not, can't just fall either. So it's a happy medium, not too tight, not too loose. All right, now let's grab our thanks and our linen thread. Of course, I don't know where I put mine. I thought I had it out, so you might have to find, oh, it was right there the whole time. Grab it, and we're gonna make an 8 nest, is what I like to call it. Wrap it around maybe 3 or 4 times, depending on how much linen thread you have. And then 4 fingers, spread it out a little bit. Cut that off. Then what we're gonna do is make an 8. So what I like to do is pinch it in the middle. I can get it off my fingers, sorry. Hold on, we'll do a redo. So wrap it around. Take it off by pinching it. There we go. That's a lot better of a gather. Grab your Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm going to go ahead and you can either attach this to the pencil or attach it to your circle. It's up to you. Whatever is easier. And I'm going to set that right here. Okay, grab that loose end, take it, and attach it to that adhesive so it's covered as well. Flip this over, grab your dimensionals. We're going to make sure we have one near the point, one near the eraser, and we'll put one in the center that kind of help gather up our pieces here too, that linen thread. Flip it over, take off the backs, and we're going to angle it so it's going over our linen thread 8 nest, kind of like spreading out there. Be careful not to cover your things. I did a pretty close job there. Almost got it. And then lastly, I have an embellishment for here. We want to add, this is called the Iridescent Pastel Gems. And I grabbed just this larger light blue one. And I set it right down here just to give us a little bit of sparkle, right? Cute. Okay. For this part here, we're going to actually use dimensionals, and we're going to put dimensionals on the belly band. So I want to cover up. You can kind of place it here so you have a size reference. I don't want to go center with this one. I actually want this one to be over here. So I'm going to put 2 dimensionals. One is going to help secure that where those belly bands met. And I'm going to hover over it till I feel like it's where I want it to be and press down, and those dimensionals will pick up and hold on to that pencil. So now I can slide up and down, then we can open up our card and see our explosion in the inside. Oh my goodness, isn't that so much fun? I just love this card, and I can't wait to make it with lots of different designer series paper and stamp sets. This one is my favorite right now though, the Everyday Thanks, which you can get from my online store. Alright you guys, I hope you had a fun time learning how to make this DSP explosion card, and have a great Friday. Happy stamping everyone. Goodbye.